guys, my name's Yvonne Metz. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you've been here before, then welcome back. We are continuing our Faye doll crochet along, and this is part 2 of the main body. In the first video, we worked on her head, her facial features, and her arms. Now we are going to be working on her legs and the body. Let's go ahead and get started with the magic circle. And again, this is how I do mine. You may do yours differently. Go ahead and pull the yarn through. Chain 1. And then we're going to do 6 single crochets inside the circle. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to pull that tight. Now round 2, it says we're going to do an increase, and it's going to be 2 single crochets inside of each stitch that we just made. So go ahead and we're going to do 2 single crochets. There's 1. And there is 2. Go ahead and put your stitch marker in there, and then I will do one more repeat with you. There's 1 and 2. So go ahead and finish your repeat, and I will meet you here at the end. Alright, so I finished round 2. Now round 3 is going to be another increase round. We are going to single crochet in the first stitch like that. Put your stitch marker back in, and then we are going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. That's 1 and 2, and this will be the repeat. So go ahead, we'll do one more together. It's 1 single crochet and then 2 in the next, like that. Go ahead and repeat that 4 more times, and I will meet you here at the end. So I am done with round 3, and I have 18 stitches. So round 4 through 12, we are going to be working a single crochet into each stitch around. Okay, so this is going to be a super easy repeat. So go ahead, and we're just going to be doing a single crochet into each stitch around. Do one more, 1 or 2 more. There's 1 more, and there's the second. So go ahead, guys, and repeat that all the way around until you get to round 12, and I will meet you here at the end. Alright, so I'm done with my 12 rounds. So now we're going to go ahead and finish this off. Go ahead and slip stitch, bring the yarn through like that. I've already cut my yarn, and go ahead and pull that through. So now go ahead and you're going to do another one. So go ahead and rewind the video, make another leg, but do not finish off at the end of round 12. Alright, so I will go ahead and do my other leg, and I will come back when it's done. Alright guys, so I have my second leg done. So let's move on to round 13. And we're going to go ahead and leave this stitch marker here. So let's go ahead and chain 6. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're going to join to the first leg in the slip stitch that we did. Okay, so here's the slip stitch right here. So go ahead and single crochet in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark this single crochet that we just made. Okay, and now we're going to work 17 more single crochets. That's 2 and 3. Insert your hook, yarn over, draw it through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through both. So go ahead and finish around your leg, and then I will meet you when I'm done with mine. All right, guys, so I finished round 13. So on to round 14. When you look at your chain, it's going to look upside down, and that's okay because we're going to be working on one side and then we're going to be working on the other. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We are going to work 1 single crochet into the next 6 chains. So go ahead, and if you look at it upside down, you can count it. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one right here is the 6th one. I crochet super tight, so it's going to be a little, there we go, not too bad. So here's 1, and here's the next loop, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you know what? I'm going to grab another stitch marker because when we come back around, that first chain that we did is going to be the beginning of the next row. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another stitch marker. There we go. So now it says to work in your next leg right here, which was your second leg, and we're going to work where I left my stitch marker. We're going to work 18 single crochets. So go ahead, insert your hook there, and that's your first single crochet, and here's your second, and your and your third, and go ahead and go all the way around until you get your 18 single crochets. All right, I finished my 18 single crochets. Now we're going to be working on the opposite side of the chain, and you can kind of see where these loops kind of popped out. So here's the first one. Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So go ahead and work your 6 single crochets in those loops. So there's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, and your 6th one, just like that. And then it says to work 18 single crochets on this leg. Okay, so basically where this stitch marker is your first single crochet. So here's 1 and 2, 3, and go ahead and finish all the way till you get to your stitch marker, and that should be 18 stitches. I'll meet you when I am done with mine. All right, guys, I finished, and I have 48 stitches, and this is what your piece is going to look like. Okay, so now on to round 15, and this is an increased round, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to work 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So there's 1, insert your stitch marker back into that stitch, and then here is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then now our increase, which is 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and you will repeat that 5 more times, and I'll meet you here when I am done with mine. All right, guys, so round 15 is done, and I have 54 stitches. Now, round 16 through 24, we will be working 1 single crochet into each stitch around. All right, so let's go ahead and I'll do a few with you. Insert your hook, yarn over, bring it through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through 2, insert your hook, yarn over, bring it through, yarn over again, draw through both loops. And let's not forget our stitch marker. And this is all we're doing all the way around. Okay, so I will meet you here at the end of round 24. All right, I'm at the end of round 24. Now let's move on to round 25, which we are going to start decreasing. So let's go ahead and we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So here is 1. Put our stitch marker back in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then we're going to do a decrease, which will be working in the front loops only. So go ahead and insert your hook in the front loop only of the next stitch, yarn over, draw it through, repeat that in the next stitch, yarn over, draw it through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through all 3 loops, and I try to keep that pretty tight. So that is our repeat. So go ahead and I will meet you at the end when I am done. All right, I finished round 25 and I have 48 stitches. Now round 26 and 27, we are going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So we'll do a few together. There's 1, 2, put a stitch marker back in, 3, 4, and 5. So go ahead and repeat that all the way around, and I will meet you here when I'm done with my next 2 rounds. All right, I finished round 27. So now round 28 is another decrease round. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So there's 1, and there's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to do a decrease, which again, we're working in the front loops only of the next 2 stitches. So insert your hook like that, yarn over, drop a loop, go into the next one, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through all 3 loops on your hook. And that is going to be your repeat all the way around. So you're going to do that 5 more times. I will meet you here at the end of the round. All right, so I finished round 28 and you should have 42 stitches. So now we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and stuff the legs and part of the body. Just grab your stuffing. Just like that. All right. So I think that's good enough for right now. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to round 29 and 30. And this one is going to be a single crochet into each stitch around. So I'll go ahead and start with you. Here is our first, and that's our second. Go ahead and put the stitch marker back in. Again, it's just going to be a single crochet into each stitch around. Okay, and I will meet you at the end of round 30. All right, guys, I'm at the end of round 30. So let's go ahead and do round 31, which is another decrease round. So let's go ahead. It's going to be one single crochet into the next 5 stitches. So that's 1 and that's 2. Put our stitch marker back in. 3, 4, 5, and then a decrease. Just like that. So let's go ahead and repeat that 5 more times, and I will meet you here at the end. All right, so round 31 is done. So let's move on to round 32 and 33, which will be single crochet into each stitch around. So I'll do a few with you. There's 1 and 2. Go ahead and put that back in. 3 and 4. So go ahead and single crochet all the way around, and I will meet you back here at the end of round 33. All right, so I finished round 33. So round 34 is going to be another decrease. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So here is 1, 2, put my stitch marker back, 3, 4, and then a decrease, again going in the front loops only of the next 2 stitches. Just like that. And I will meet you at the end of the round. All right, round 34 is done, and I ended up with 30 stitches. So rounds 35 and 36, we are going to be working 1 single crochet into each stitch around, and at the end of that round we will stuff the body again. So I will meet you back here when I am done with my single crochets, but I will start with a few. So here we go. There's 1, 2, and 3. All right, so go ahead and finish your next 2 rounds, and I will meet you back here when I'm done. All right, so now I have finished round 36. I've stuffed the body again some more. Now round 37 is another decrease round. So let's go ahead, and we are going to do 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So here is 1, 2, go ahead and put your stitch marker, 3, and then our decrease, front loops only, and there you go. So go ahead and repeat that all the way around, and I will meet you here at the end. All right, so I finished round 37, and I have 24 stitches. So rounds 38 and 39 are going to be a single crochet in each across, but I'm going to stop at round 38, and I will come back because I want to sew my arms or crochet over them. So I'll show you how to do that. Like I mentioned before, this will be my first time doing it. So if you want to do that, fine. If not, go ahead and skip this part. Just do your single crochets in the next 2 rounds, and I will meet you at the end of round 39. So let's do a few single crochets to get started. There's 1 and 2. So go ahead, put your stitch marker. There you go. So go ahead and work your next round 38. And if you want to crochet your arms in here instead of sewing, then go ahead and we'll go ahead and do that together. All right, so I will meet you at the end of round 38. All right, guys, I finished round 38, and now we're going to do round 39, which again is a single crochet round. But on this round, I am going to be adding my arms so I don't have to sew them on. I've been wanting to try this for a while. And let's see. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove the stitch marker. And if you did this part, we're going to have 4 single crochets up here on the top. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the side of my body, and I think I want it right there. And as you can see, here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to work 3. We're going to start here on the second single crochet, and then when we come around to finish, we're going to work in the last stitch on the arm, okay? So go ahead, put your hook in here like this, and again, this is my first time doing this, and we're going to single crochet. So let's go ahead and insert our hook into the arm and into the where our stitch marker was, which is our first stitch of that round, and we're going to just single crochet through both. So there's 1, and let's do the second. And there's 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to mark that stitch. And then here is the third. All right. And then go ahead and single crochet all the way around till you get to this side, and then go ahead and we're going to put the other arm, if you want to mark it and just see where you like it, kind of get those even like this. And then if you want to use a stitch marker, go ahead and just mark it like that, so you know when you come around that this is where you want it to be. I think that looks really cute. All right, so go ahead and crochet single crochets all the way around. Make sure to go through both this here and here into both stitches on the arm and on the body, and I will meet you at the last stitch. Okay, all right, I'm at the last stitch of round 39, and we're going to work the last single crochet from the arm to the last one on the body. So go ahead and insert your hook into that stitch there. My other arm had 5 single crochet stitches, so whichever one, just make sure they're even. And then I'm going to go ahead and go under the 2 loops here on the body and finish that off. So now I think I like that. It's better than sewing. So let's go on to round 40, which is another decrease round. So let's go ahead and take the stitch marker out, and we are going to work a 2 single crochets, actually 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 and 2. Place your stitch marker back in, and then a decrease. Like that. So that is our repeat. I'll do one more with you. Here's 1 single crochet, and there's 2, and our decrease. I will meet you here at the end of round 40. Okay, I finished round 40 and I have 18 stitches. Working the last round now, we are going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch around. Okay. So here is 1, 2, put our stitch marker back in, 3, and 4, and I will meet you back here when I have finished my 18 single crochets. All right, so I finished round 41. So now we're going to go ahead and finish off. So go ahead and slip stitch. And I know we left a generous piece of yarn on the doll head, but we're going to go ahead and do it here too. You never know, sometimes it might not be long enough. So let's go ahead and snip that off. It's better to have too much yarn than not enough, right? So, all right, so we're going to go ahead now and we're going to stuff the rest of the body. You just want to make sure that it's not overstuffed. If you notice, if you start seeing this during, coming out of your stitches or pulling it too much, then you know you've put too much in there. And when we add the head, you can still, if it's not enough, you can still add more before the head is attached, okay? So that might look okay for right now. Again, if I need more, I will add some before I finish sewing on the head. But that looks pretty good. Oh my God, you guys, I just love this doll. This pattern is pretty easy. So now I'm going to grab my head and let me see. Let me grab, I thought I had my yarn needle here. I'm going to start with this one. And actually, no, I'm going to do this one because this one looks longer. All right, so all we're going to do is put her head evenly like this with the body, like that. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to insert your hook into one of the stitches here on the body and then go into one of the stitches here on the doll and just whip stitch these together. All right, and we can hide that later. And this is all we're doing. And move that to the back. And this is all we're doing, guys. Oh. Make sure your arm doesn't get in the way. Like that. All right, so go ahead and you're going to do that all the way around. And again, if you notice, if you want more, like see, I'm going to probably add more stuffing here. Just go ahead and add it before you completely sew her head on. And I will meet you back here when I am done with mine. All right, guys, so I'm at the end and I did stuff it a little bit more. So let me show you how I'm doing this. So I'm just carefully pushing the stuffing inside the head, and see, I still have more room because you don't want this. Okay, so I'm pushing it in like this gently, just making sure that my stitches up here don't stretch out so that you see the stuffing. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some more. Like that. And then let's see, I can still add more. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that up. I just wanted to show you what I'm doing, okay? All right, so I finished sewing her up, and the extra yarn that I had from the head, what I did is I went back and forth around her neck, and as you can see, it's pretty sturdy, guys. So that's what I'm going to do with this one, and I'm just going to run it, you know, discreetly, of course, back and forth through the stitches around her neck. Just like this. Pulling it tight. Because you can see kind of where you do the decreases down here, that the yarn, or that you can almost kind of barely see the stuffing. So if you're putting your yarn through like this and sewing it, it kind of closes that up. So that is what I am going to do. So I wanted to show you guys what I'm doing. And just like that, all the way around. See, you can kind of see right here too, where this was like a decreased round. So I'm just going to go like this. And then the yarn is going to cover that up. All right, so I'm sure I will do some more. But anyways, guys, here she is done. On Friday, I want to say it's May 11th, we will have her dress and another accessory, probably her shoes. And I will have that pattern again in our doll group and then on my blog. So if you have any questions, go ahead, leave me a comment. If you don't have the pattern yet, go ahead and go to my blog. Again, I will have all the information down there below. And again, if you'd like to join us in our doll group on Facebook, I will also put that link down there below. One more thing, I wanted to show you, I was looking for this little needle. This one is my yarn needle, but it has a little, it bends right here. It's so much nicer when you're trying to do sewing on dolls and stuff like that. And if you have these at your local, either Michael's, Hobby Lobby, if you don't have one near you, I will look for a link on Amazon and I will post that down there also, okay? So anyways, guys, thanks for watching and happy Faye making.